Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel DIY with Mini John. I am Nishant and this is my basement workshop. In today's video I will show you how to make a steam binding box out of PVC pipe. With all materials at hand you can complete this project in under an hour. Before starting the project I would like to acknowledge that this video does not cover the safety aspects of working with steam. If you have no prior experience working with steam bending, I highly recommend that you should get a first-hand experience to understand and work around the dangers associated with steam bending. If you have no experience and any doubts about the project, then please do not attempt this. Now I will go ahead and show you all the materials that we need for this project. I am using a 6-inch PVC drainage pipe. Try and get the PVC pipe with the most wall thickness. That will give you a strong and long-lasting PVC box. The second thing we require is these end caps. These are just to seal off the ends of the PVC pipe. And we need some 3/4 inch plumbing fixtures, PVC solvent cement, a digital thermometer so that we can monitor the temperature inside the box. To start with, I will mark the PVC pipe and cut it to length. As per my requirement, I usually work with a stock of up to 3 feet length. So I am going to make my steam box of 3.5 feet so that I can easily accommodate the stock that I want to bend. To get an accurate cut, you should mark your cutting line all across the pipe and rotate the pipe as you cut it. You can easily cut a PVC pipe with a hacksaw. Now that our PVC pipe is cut to size, I will take one of these end caps and drill a hole to accept the 3/4 inch plumbing fitting. Now that's 20 mm. So I will drill a hole of 20 mm right in the center of this cap, and that will create our steam inlet. And then I will use 2 of these fixtures and I'll simply mount one of them inside and the other one outside and tighten them so that the PVC of the cap is sandwiched between this cavity. So I have mounted the steam inlet. Now I need to mount this to one of the ends of the pipe. Now I will cover both surfaces in this PVC solvent cement that's especially made for high pressure applications, and then I'll attach the cap on the pipe. And that way one of the sides of our steam box will be sealed off. This is what our steam box looks like after attaching the end cap. Now this geyser pipe will be attached to the steam inlet, and the other end of this pipe will be attached to whatever source of steam that we are going to use. The basic point is that we have a steam inlet at one end, and at the other end we have some sort of mechanism to let the excess steam escape so that we don't have pressure built up inside our box. We just want the steam to come through one end, heat our wood, and then escape through the other end. I will take this other end cap now and I will make a removable lid on the other side of this pipe. I'll attach a handle on that. Now our steam box is pretty much complete. In order to explain the functioning of this box, I will make a small diagram and try to answer any doubts and questions that you might have. I will try and explain the process of steam bending through this very simple diagram here. The first thing that we need is a source of steam. As I had mentioned, this could be a wallpaper steamer, a propane fired water boiler, or an induction and a kettle. In my case, I would be using an induction and a kettle. So the first thing that happens is the water inside this kettle gets heated up and turns into steam, goes out through this nozzle and then travels into the steam chamber or our steam box. Now what happens is, as the steam tends to stay on top of this box, just like gases do. So there will be a few things going on here. First thing is that we will attach a thermometer over here that will give us a temperature. of the box. Through that we can check and see if we have a constant temperature or not, and if we don't have a constant temperature, that means that we either don't have enough heat to turn the water into steam, or we have a lot of steam that's escaping instead of heating up the box. Now the places where steam can escape is, one is over here. If the lid is not tight and there's some gap around the lid, then most of the steam will escape through here and will not go through the journey of reaching our steam box, and all those steam will be lost and it will not heat up our box. So we have to make sure that the lid is tight. Now the second thing we have is our wood. Now we want our wood to be slightly raised from the bottom of this steam chamber. That is so that we can have our steam going all around the piece of wood, because if it just touches the top surface of wood, then this will not get heated up, and when we bend it, then it will split over here because it's cold and the lignin is not heated up enough to give it the flexibility that we need it to bend. Now some of the very important factors that we have to consider are, first is that we need our steam to escape. Now the steam that was escaping through here was not helping us in heating our box, so we don't want it to escape through here or here or here. We want it to heat our wood, and then when its job is done, we want that steam to get out of the box, because if it doesn't, then there will be a lot of pressure built inside the chamber and our steam box might explode or it might rupture at one of the ends. So to do that, we have to make a outlet hole over here on this end, and that will allow the excess steam to go out. Now this hole doesn't have to be very big. For a box of this size, about 10 mm or 8 mm hole will do. Second thing that we have to consider, and which is very important, is that we have to make sure that this end of the box is higher than this end, because as I had mentioned, the steam tends to stay on top of the box and it will go from lower point to the higher point. So if we don't have the level difference, this level difference, if we don't have it in our box, then the steam will not circulate around our wood properly, and also after heating up this, there will be a lot of water that will get condensated, and that water needs to flow down, and we have to have another drainage hole over here that allows for the water droplets to come out of the box. And also we have to make sure that the steam inlet is higher than the lower portion of this, because if we attach the steam source over here and if it's just sitting on the base of this box, then what will happen is all that water that gets condensated will go back in the pipe that we are using to let the steam inside, and it will cool off the steam before the steam gets a chance to get in our box. Another very important aspect to consider is that we have to make this lid as removable, so that we can take it out and attach it again when we need to. And to do that, after this box is getting heated up, it will be very difficult to remove this lid, so we have to make sure that we attach a handle on this end. And don't attach the normal handles that we would use on doors that have a screw coming out through, that have a screw that will be drilled and screwed in this manner, because when it's getting heated up, the PVC will become very soft, and when you pull this handle, the handle might come out along with the screws. Now we don't want that, so we will use a handle that uses either it's screwed from inside or bolted from inside, or we will use nut and bolt system so that we have good grip on handle on both the sides. Another important point to consider is that we do not fill our kettle higher than the spout. So if this is our kettle and this is the spout, then we have to make sure that our water level is always below the spout, because if we fill it higher than the spout, then all the steam that will form inside the kettle will force the water out of the nozzle instead of the steam escaping through nozzle. So if we have a space, enough clearance for the steam to go out, then the steam will go out. And if we fill it higher, then water will get inside our pipe and it will clog the pipe, and there will be no flow of steam, and there will be a lot of pressure built inside the kettle, which in turn will try to escape through the lid. Well, that's all for this video. I hope you enjoyed the video and you found the contents of this video helpful. If you liked the video, then please click the thumbs up button and subscribe to my channel for more woodworking and DIY content. In next part of this video, we will put this thing to work and do some steam bending. And I will also show you my first steam box that I made out of pine wood and why it failed. If you have any questions or doubts regarding the steam bending process, then put those in the comments and I will try and answer those for you. So this is what we will cover in next part of this video. I will show you how I made these plywood molds to bend wood like this, and how I made this MDF mold to create perfect circles that we will use to make some boxes. Hope to see you again in next part of this video. Until then, keep making.